Everybody has different factors in their lives which impact the total amount of time they can realistically dedicate to language learning. But more important than the amount of time that you have each day is how productive you are with that time. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys 7 tips that I think can help you to be a lot more productive with the time that you do have to dedicate to language learning. The first thing is get something done first thing in the morning. It doesn't matter whether you're a morning person or not. I certainly don't want to have a conversation with anyone within the first 12 or 13 hours of waking up. The point here is not about getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning or anything like that. The point is to start the day by getting something done. Even if it's something small, start the day with a small win. When I start my day by listening to a podcast in Spanish, I know that I've done something that day already to move me towards my goal, and so it's going to be easier to accumulate more time throughout the rest of the day if I have the opportunity, but it also means that if I don't have any more opportunities to do anything that day, at least I've done something with that day. I've done something that's going to move me towards my goal. The second thing is to set performance-based goals. Performance-based goals are goals that are based on and focus on the behaviors necessary for you to achieve your goal, rather than focusing on the desired outcome, which would be a results-based goal. An example of a results-based goal might be something like, I want to improve my Spanish vocabulary. With a performance-based goal, what I do is I take that desired outcome and I break down what will be necessary for me to do every day in order to make sure that I'm consistently moving forward towards that point. So in this example, I might say to myself, I need to read 10 pages every day in Spanish. Setting goals in this way allows you to focus on the daily habits that will be necessary for you to be able to achieve your goals. And it also allows you to maintain a much higher level of motivation because you're not consistently comparing yourself between where you are now and where you want to get to. You're not consistently looking at that gap between your current situation and your desired outcome. You're just focusing on what you need to do every day to get to that desired outcome, with the knowledge that if you are able to do that every day, that accumulation and consistency is what will take you to your goal, what will get you to where you want to be. The third thing is organize your time and resources. The main principle here is less work to get started equals fewer excuses to not start. Even if you're someone that does have a decent amount of free time, don't just assume you'll get it done, make it happen. We've all had those days where we've had an abundance of time and every intention of doing lots of productive stuff, and then lo and behold, no plan means no actions, no results. Anyway, regardless of how much time it's for, schedule specific time slots for you to immerse or study in your target language and actually stick to them. Prep your resources beforehand, pick out whatever book you want to read or decide what series you want to watch, preload some YouTube videos, save a load of websites in your browser, whatever it takes to remove any potential resistance and shorten the path to get started. The easier it is to get started, the easier it is to continue, so preparation is key. Okay, the fourth thing is to create a separate YouTube account for your immersion. YouTube is an incredible tool for language learning, and it's also unfathomably well versed in prying you from your intended path and throwing you down a rabbit hole of God knows what. Create a separate channel just for immersion, change the language and the country, and actively remove any videos that are in your native language. That way, if you're going on YouTube to immerse, you'll be a lot less likely to get distracted and you can get a lot more out of the time that you've allotted to do your immersion. Okay, the fifth thing is to set tiny micro goals. An example of a micro goal could be something like dedicate 1 minute to Spanish immersion per day. And it might seem like a really stupid thing, but the thing is that you're very unlikely to just do that 1 minute, because once you get started, that's the hardest part done, and then it's a lot easier to carry on. But the other benefit is that because it's such a small goal, it's also almost impossible to miss. So even on a really busy day or on a really bad day, you can still do that 1 minute, you maintain your streak, and thus you maintain your motivation, and so again, it's easier to continue. The sixth thing is to be realistic and to be patient. So continuing with that idea, consistency is your most valuable tool as a language learner, and so it's important to be realistic about how much time you can actually spend if you want to be consistent over extended periods of time. 3 hours a day of immersion is great, if you can actually do it without turning your whole life upside down. But if you overstretch yourself, then you're just going to set yourself up for failure, and you might actually end up resenting that activity because you just associate it with failure. Be patient and give yourself time. The goal is to accumulate exposure over extended periods of time. There's no rush. And the seventh and final thing is to create and use checklists. Checklists are easily one of the most underrated productivity tools, and they're regularly overlooked because they just seem too obvious. If you want a real deep dive into the effectiveness of checklists, then I would advise you check out this book, The Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande, but the main takeaway that I want to share with you guys is this. Checklists help us to create the habit of analysing, organising and systemizing our processes and making sure we get all of the little jobs done that we said we were going to do, especially the small ones that might seem less significant or less impactful. Having a little checklist of things that you need to get done today will get you into the habit of assessing the daily tasks that you need to get done and making sure that you complete them every day and motivating you to keep that completion rate up. So those are 7 things that I think you can use to try and be more productive with the time that you do have for your language learning. Of course, not all of these things will be applicable to everyone, so take the things that make sense to you and discard the things that don't. As always, if you have any thoughts about anything that I've shared in this video, then please let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. If you have any other tips that you think can be helpful for other people, then please let me know. But I hope you've got something useful out of this video and I hope you've enjoyed it. So I look forward to speaking to you again in the next one. Hasta luego.